All right, folks, listen, if ever there was a time where your resume really, really made a difference, I tell you what, it is today. In this economy, if you want to stand a chance at all of getting yourself an actual interview, then you got to have the kind of resume that really does the deed. And that's what we're going to talk about here. Really, a lot of the things that you're going to hear are, they're cutting edge as far as resume stuff, resume teaching goes, and a lot of them are contrary to the traditional kind of resume teaching. You know, those classes that you used to go to in high school and stuff, and even if you go to some vocational school today, the resume stuff that they're going to teach you in there, it's so old and outdated, folks. Listen, just trust me. Do what you hear and what you see in this training, and throw all that stuff out the window, because it doesn't work anymore. The training that has been put together here is with years of research from the inside, as in actual hiring managers. It's just, once you hear what I'm going to tell you, it's going to totally click and it's going to make sense, and you're going to see why all those resumes that you sent out don't actually get you anywhere. Why didn't they get you an interview? Well, because you did it wrong. You did it totally wrong. And you're going to see what I'm talking about in this course. Let's look at real quick an overview of what is going to be in this video module. The new job market. Today's market is much different than yesterday's market. And I mean a lot different. You know, maybe 20 years ago, some of those old school tactics could have worked, and they probably did. But today, that ain't the case. And resumes are a teaching tool. This is totally contrary to, what they used to tell us, and really what they still do tell us in a lot of antiquated establishments. But that is that with your resume, it's like a marketing tool. Right, where you market yourself. That's not what a resume is. It's a teaching tool, and I'm going to show you why. Resumes must meet the need. I'll explain what those needs are and how you meet them. And resumes must be truthful. How about that one? How many times have you been told in a resume class something like this? You know, if you have ever even opened Microsoft Excel, then put it on your resume that you have experience with Excel. That is such a crock. You know what happens there? I'll get into this a little bit more, but you know what happens? People do that. They don't fit the need. They get hired, and then they can't do the job. What happens then? I'll explain what happens when we get to that slide. Okay, new job market. In the 70s, over 1 billion resumes submitted in the U.S. Over 1 billion. We're talking like mid-70s, that era, right? Well, today, large corporations get about 50,000 resumes per year, each one of them. And there's a lot of large corporations out there. Just to give you an idea, Microsoft, they get 6,000 resumes a day. Now, I want you to think about something here. Let's say there's a job position opens up, right? And you're going to submit a resume. And let's say you're going to submit one to Microsoft. In one day, they get 6,000 resumes. How's yours going to stand out from 5,999 other resumes? And that large corporation that you'd like to get a job at, they get 50,000 resumes a year. How are you going to compete with that? How are you going to possibly get your resume actually noticed? That's the job market that we're in today. So like I said, 30, 40 years ago, over 1 billion resumes submitted in the 70s. So your, little old school tactics, they might have pulled it back then, but they're not going to pull it today. You go doing stuff that, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that here in a minute. Interviews cost time and money. This is why corporations